Oh shit. Okay, sorry, my bad. I'm not audible since. Okay, just repeat off you very quickly, right? Yeah. So this session, what we're gonna do is, really sorry about that, by the way. Cool. So what we're gonna do is these six things. The first thing is we want to create our bot. So this is where we actually create the bot and register in Discord applications. Okay. Then we need a URL which can be used to invite our bot. So just because we have a bot doesn't mean people can directly use it in their servers, right? So we're going to create a URL that people can use to invite our bot to their servers. Okay. The next thing we're gonna do is write our client code. What this means is this is basically what determines how our bot should behave on specific commands or specific behavior of people in the server. So then we're going to define something called slash commands. Slash commands are basically, whenever you have bots and you might have seen, like bots like music players where you do slash play, they start playing music. Or in bots like Dank Memer where you do slash meme or something, you can start the memes rolling in, right? So those are called slash commands. Then once we have defined that, we have to deploy them. So only when you deploy, all the other servers who have your bot can see the commands available in your bot. So then we finally have to deploy our client code as well. That is because just because we have the commands online or deployed doesn't mean that it's going to work. Okay, so it's basically just like information about the things our bot can do, but what the bot actually going to do is execute some line of code, right? That's what our client code is going to be, and that's what we have to keep running somewhere. So that's what we're going to deploy it on the web as well. Okay, so let's get started. So first thing we have to do is get this repo. Okay, uh, you can find this in the YouTube description, but I will also post this in the top chat in the chat. So yeah, once we have that, what this is boilerplate is basically a set of starter files that you generally create when you're starting a project, right? So instead of doing that all over again, just created a small boilerplate over here. So it comes with Babel. So Babel allows us to use some uh, new JavaScript features that are not yet implemented in all the browsers or Node.js versions. So once you're here, what you have to do is click on use this template, create new repository. So then give a repository name. I'm going to call it memer bot. So create repository from this template. Okay, it's going to create a repository. It's basically like a copy of this Babel node minimal boilerplate. Okay, once you have this, click on code over here and click on this HTTPS copy. Okay, once you have copied that, head over to your terminal, go to any way which the places you keep your code, right, and you do git clone, and this will get cloned. So once it gets cloned, let's head over into the directory and open this in our VS Code. And in case you do not have git clone installed or git installed, I mean, what you can do is you can actually download the zip here, unzip it, and open it in the GitHub in Visual Studio Code. But I do recommend that you install Git in your system. Okay, let's see what we have. We just have some Babel configuration, which you're not going to worry about. Then we have package.json here, which has some Babel dependencies and .env. We'll get what .env is to later. There's some scripts in it. So if you remember from our last uh, class where we did node index.js when we wanted to run something, right? So instead what we can also do is define some standard scripts for our package, okay? Like start means run something. Okay. So this is a script that runs to start our server. So it's looks a little lengthy than what we just do as node index.js, but I suggest you do not worry much about this in here. So it just starts our server with Babel with some options enabled. Okay, that's all. That's all it's doing. So let's see if this is working properly. There's the console log over here. So first thing you want to do after you clone or zip and unzip, download the zip and unzip is going to install the packages with npm i. So this will, sorry, npm i. This will install all the packages in the packages. So yeah, we have dev script and start script. Dev going to start with NodeMon. So NodeMon is basically a CLI tool that refreshes or basically restarts our server whenever we make changes to the file. It's going to come in handy so that we do not have to kill our server every time and restart it. Okay, so hope this is all properly visible. Okay, that's good. So let's go back to the VS Code. Okay, so we're going to just do some basic Express setup first to just serve a basic HTML file that tells them that they can add our bot to their server. So we're going to install Express body server. You can install multiple dependencies by giving a space. So what I'll do is I'll just uh, sorry, it's not, sorry, my bad. It's body parser. Okay. So I'll just grab some of the code we wrote in the last workshop. Right, so I'll take up much. So you can notice that we are using import here instead of require. So that's one of the things we can use uh, when you're using Babel, right? When you're using newer version of JavaScript. So just say import express from express and import body parser from body parser. Okay, and we're going to do app.listen 5005. We're going to pass in a callback function. So this function will be called as soon as our server is up and running. So I'll just log server is running. Okay, so we also need to enable these middlewares, body parser and public content. So let's create a public folder, public, and let's create an index.html file in it with emmet. So if we do this, it will give you some boilerplate code. Add Nemer bot to your server. Say the same in here with an h1, and yeah. Okay, then we'll just give a button like add. We'll wrap it inside a href. So for the href, we're going to give a link through which they can add the bot to the server. Now, how can we get this link, right? So that's what we're going to do now. Before that, let's just verify this is running properly. So we'll just do npm start. So this will execute the start script that is defined in package.json here. Okay, actually we should do npm run dev so that we use node-mon. Okay, server is running. Let's check localhost 5005. Localhost 5005. Okay. So yeah, we can style this up later. Now let's start doing the bot, right? So for us to start building on the bot, we have to be first logged in Discord. I hope you are. So we have to head over to discord.com developers/applications. So once you're here, you can see all the applications you have here. So this is the trial bot I had created to test out all the stuff. So for this workshop, I'm going to create another application, and I'm going to call this memerbot inc. Create. Okay, so we have this. You then have to also create a bot. So add bot. Yes, do it. Call this just memerbot. Awesome. So we just created a bot. Okay. So then we have to give some permission to our bot. So this permission define what the bot can do inside a server. This will also be displayed to the user when they're trying to add that bot, right? So that they know what this bot will be able to do. So we have to be able to send message. We have to be able to send embed links because our images are going to be like that. Attach files, use slash commands, and also uh, we also need read messages. Okay, that should do it. Yeah. Okay, now we have the bot ready. What we have to now do is generate the URL, right? So we're going to generate the URL. Okay, so to generate the URL, it's something called OAuth2. This is basically what allows to authenticate yourself and add the bot to your server. So first thing we have to allow is the bot scope and then application.commands. This is what's going to enable us to deploy all the commands. Yeah, so those are two things, and here we will have to select the bot permissions again. Attach files, embed links, use slash commands, read messages, and view channels. Okay, so generated this URL. We copy this and paste it inside our HTML here. Okay, so let's head over to that page, localhost 5005, add memerbot your server. Let's click on add. Shows like this, memerbot inc, and I'm going to select the server that I am part of. So you can only add bots to the server where you are, like at an admin level, or else you will not be able to add a bot. So I'll just click on this, the temporary server I've created, memebot trial server. Click on continue. These are all the permission like we selected there. So we have to have all of them for the bot to work properly. Let's authorize it. Okay, done. So let's check out Discord. So yeah, this is the server we have. I'm going to delete this message. And you can see that the memer bot is over here. So this was the old bot. Let's kick this out. I don't need it anymore. Okay, so the new memer bot is here. So how we're going to interact with the bot is we're going to use slash commands. Basically, you put slash and you enter one of these commands. So these are some default commands that are built in. Okay, such as if you do me or shrug, it does this, right? So what we're going to do is going to have a slash command that says meme, and it's going to generate a meme for us, like a random meme from the internet. So that's our goal. Uh, so that's the thing Memer bot is going to do. Okay. So next, what we have to do is we're going to install this bot. Install Discord.js, which is what we're going to use to do the next steps. So if you remember, the steps we have is, so we're done with 1 and 2. So we're done with 1, also done with 2. So we have to write our client code basically now. So all of these will be sort of done in a single shot. Okay, let's start. Okay, let's add. Did we add Discord.js yet? Okay, now npm I discord.js. Okay, it's added. Let's import Discord. So import Discord from Discord.js. Okay, once we have Discord imported, we have to create the client, right? So this is the client where we're going to interact with all the commands happening in our server. Okay, so we'll do const client new discord.client, and in here we have to specify the token. So what we'll do is we're going to try to keep our code a little bit of modular. So the client initialization, right? The place where the client is created, we're going to keep it in a separate place. So that will be inside a folder called lib. So we'll go inside src, create a folder called lib, and inside that I'll call discord client.js. So this is what's going to happen here. So we'll import the Discord in here instead of in the main file, and we will create a client like this. Client equals to new Discord dot capital clients. So this basically means we're creating an object with a class of client. So you must be familiar if you have studied OOP in any of your classes or colleges. Basically, we're creating an object with a bunch of predefined methods and functions with help of a class. So when we create this, the client object is automatically going to have a bunch of things that it can do. Okay, so when creating a Discord client, we have to specify a few things, such as something called intents. Intents is basically what are the things your client can listen to, right? Can it listen to new messages? Can it listen to when someone is typing? Can it listen when somebody is been added to the server? So all of these things are intents. Do you want to listen your bot to these intents or these events? You have to specify it over here. So yeah, we basically need three these intents. So this is how we specify them: gateway, intent, bits, I think, and guilds. This will give access to the server. Guilds in the world of Discord means a server. So another name for server inside of in the development mode. So another intent we want is guild message, which means we can access the messages in the guild. And another one we would want is direct message. It's probably not necessary, but we'll have this direct message. Okay. And after intents, we also have to define something called partials. So this is also important. So these things are a top level, right, on the guild level. This will be on much more like channel level partials. So we'll do Discord partials um, messages. Suppose I need channel and message both. Okay, so these are the intents and these are the partials that we have now defined. Okay, once this is done, we actually have to log in our client, right? Our client is here nothing but our bot. Okay, so I'll just name it bot for easier understanding. So we created the bot. Now what we have to do is we have to log in the bot. Okay, so it's into Discord. This is how we log in the bot. So in order for the bot to log in, it needs to have a password, right? Like how we log in into Discord, we have a username and password. So we can also get a password like thing. So if we head over to bot and you can click on reset token, it will give you a token. Copy it and we're going to paste it here. Later on, we will move these things into something called env variables, which will help us secure these secrets instead of being in the code base itself. Okay. Right. Once logged in, you can specify a then. So what then will do is once logged in, so this is an asynchronous call, right? So once logged in, then will fire. So we can get the response and log it as well. Probably it's not going to return anything. Okay, so we'll just console log something like, hey, I'm logged in. Let's say bot logged in. Let's see if our bot is shown online. You can see that the bot is not online now. Uh, Okay, so once we start the server, it should be like online. Okay, to make it online, what we have to do is import this client in here, import the bot. So yeah, we created our bot in this file, right? How are we going to actually use it in our main file? If you remember that each node project is going to have something called an entry file, where ultimately all the files are going to be included in one way or another. So we're going to export this bot, okay, which means that this bot is now accessible outside this file if you call this file basically. So let me show you what I mean. So you can do import bot and it will like import it from this place. Okay, that was an autocomplete, but yeah, that should do it. Let's start the server and see what happens. npm run dev. Okay, I'm in wrong project. Name bot npm run dev. Server is running. Bot logged in and the bot is logged in. Yep, you can see now it's online. If I kill this, still online for some reason. I think it's gonna stay online for a while. Anyway, we do need this running so that our bot can get the commands. Okay, now this is done, right? So we have a basic page where we can add the bot to our server, and we have the basic setup to for the bot to log in. Now we have to define our commands, right? We're going to start defining with our commands. So for that, just like lib, I'm going to create another folder called commands. And the first command and the only command going to be in our project is meme. So I'll just name it meme.js as well. So in order to build this command, let's we need to import the Discord again. First of all, import Discord from Discord.js, and there is an object, or there is an again a class in Discord that will going to help us build this slash command or slash builder. I think that's what it's called, slash command builder it is. Okay, so I'll say meme command. I'll call this command meme command and say new Discord slash command builder. Okay, so it's going to take in an object. You do not have to set it. So I'll just say meme command. What is the name of the command, right? We have to call set name on the command. So I'll just say meme. So which means that we can we can call the bot with slash meme. When you do slash meme, this command is going to execute. Okay, we can also put in a description for this. Set description. It will say sends meme. Okay, yeah. So we've set up a little bit of bot about here, but it's just name and description, right? It doesn't have any functionality. So I'll write another function called interaction. Interaction is going to be an asynchronous function. So this is, I hope you're familiar with this, this is basically an arrow function definition assigned to a constant variable. Okay. So this is going to receive something called, let's call this meme command interaction. Already. Why? Because the parameter also is going to be something called interaction. Okay, so meme command interaction will receive an interaction object. Okay, so when we do slash meme, all the information about that particular command, like um, what command was executed, who executed it, which channel they executed, all of that information will be inside the interaction. So yeah, so what we'll do is in this one, we'll just say interaction dot reply. This is a meme. Okay, let's keep it really simple for now, just to see if this will work. Okay, now we're going to export an object which has data, which will be meme command, or we can directly export meme command itself. Export default meme command. Think we missed something, is that we did not specify it to the slash builder. Uh, yeah, yeah. So I think that's the way we have to do this. Data meme command and execute meme command interaction. Okay, this is the object that we need from every slash command, right? According to Discord. So what it needs is data. Data is going to be the information about the slash command, and execute is going to be a function that says what should happen on this command is executed. Okay, so cool. Let's okay, now that we have our command installed, sorry, command defined, it's now time for us to deploy it. Okay, let's deploy this to our bot. So what I'll do is I'll create another script called deploy commands.js. So this is going to be the place where we will write code to deploy all our slash commands. So this is basically going to be this step. Okay, defining slash. Okay, we define the slash commands. Now we have to deploy it. This is not exactly completely done yet because we are just you know, only replying at the moment, but what we have to do is actually send a meme, right? So we'll get to that. So let's write the deploy script. So let's import, just like every file, this code. And what we want to do is we'll also have to import our meme command. Import meme command. Can we'll go to create an array called commands, which will have um, meme command in it. It's data. We only need the data inside commands. Okay, so this is an array of commands. Okay, if we have more commands, we can import them similarly and add it in this array like this. Okay, so since we have only one command, this is how it's going to be. We're just going to store all the commands in one array so that we can easily build our REST API call, which is going to add all of these commands to the bot, or basically deploy it to the Discord server. Okay, now we have this. We have to do something. We have to create a REST instance. Okay, a REST instance is basically an object that will allow us to interact with REST APIs of Discord. So from last class, you remember we created a REST API where we could add books, right? So Discord also has some REST API where you can add commands to the bot. So in order to use that REST API, we're going to create a REST instance. So we can create it like this: new Discord REST. We'll have to specify a version which is going to be 10. I hope that's the uh, recent one, I think. Yeah. And then we have to set the token. So we get the token from here. Okay, we've set the token. Okay, so now I'm going to write a function called deploy. So the function is going to be an asynchronous function that I'm going to call to deploy the functions. I deploy the slash commands. Okay, right. So let's write this down. Hmm, yeah. So what we have to do is await REST instance. So you can see all the REST API methods in here. You can have write, get, put, post, all the REST methods for Discord API. Okay. Okay. So what you have to now do is REST instance put, and what is the URL, right? To define the URL, we can access it from Discord itself. Discord application command application commands. Okay, it should be under routes application commands. Yeah, so this is the route where we have to add the bot. So we have to also specify application ID to application command. So where can we get that? If you head back to your developer place, in here you have to go to general information. This application ID is what your client ID as well. So just copy it here and paste it. So, okay, this is all there is actually to deploy. Okay, so we'll just put a try catch block on it so that if it fails, we will know why it failed. So we'll just put log error. So in case anything happens, it'll fail. Sorry, it'll let us know. Okay, so in here, we're missing one more thing. We are not actually sending all the commands, right? So we have to specify the body of our request, which is going to be just commands. Hmm, yep, looks all right. Let's try to deploy this. Okay, I'll run. Let's create a script to deploy instead of running it directly. Package.json will take this, we call this deploy src deploy.js. Okay, now let's run npm run deploy. It's okay, deploy commands. Let's put up a message here saying that it was deployed. Commands deploy. Yep, commands deployed. Let's check it out if it actually deployed. So where is the Discord? In here. Yeah. So you can see our meme command coming up here, as we have defined here. Name is meme and description is sends meme, right? And when we do that, it should reply us with this is a meme. Okay. So let's enter this and press enter. Application did not respond. Let's restart this and try again. Mm, hmm, Interesting. Execute main command interaction. Let's log the interaction if you're actually getting this. Send the meme. Yeah, something's not right. Is your client ID proper? Let's take a look. Yes, we are not actually executing the command. That's what we're missing. So in here, I'm going to define what should happen on an interaction, right? Um, so in order to actually execute it, we have to actually tell it that, hey, you have to execute this. So let's write that part of the code. So we'll say bot on discord dot events interaction create. So interaction create is basically any time someone interacts inside the server. What do we want it to happen, right? So we'll get an interaction, and we're gonna check something, right? If we'll check if interaction is a chat input command. Only then we're going to run the code. Because interaction could be anything like a message, usually a message or a chat input command. It can be either of those. So we're only going to respond if it is a chat input command, which is slash commands. So in that case, what we'll do is we'll first check if we have that command. So Discord recommends that we store all of our commands inside the bot object as well. What we will do is we'll go to Discord client, going to create a collection here. Okay, const slash commands. It's going to be a new Discord collection. and we're going to assign slash commands to bot slash commands. Okay, so we'll have to, let me check how this is done real quick on the docs. So we create the commands like this. Okay, we have to call set on it. So commands equals to commands, and commands dot set. We have to specify the name of the command. So let's import our meme command. Meme command dot data dot name, right? And the command itself. Okay, so we've now set the command inside the bot. Okay, now every time an interaction happens, we're going to check if this command is actually what we have. So to do that, let's head back to the main file, and in here we're going to get the command. Okay, I'll say const command interaction dot I forgot, interaction, yeah, interaction dot client dot commands dot catch, and the name of the command is going to be interaction dot command name. I'll explain what's happening here. So every interaction that happens with this code will have a client object attached to it, which is the same client object we have created over here. Okay, this object, this bot client bot object, is going to be attached under the client inside every interaction that happens. So, here we attached the commands, right? Commands to the bot commands equals to commands. What that means is that this is a collection, right? Discord collection. So it has a method called get and set. So you can set with the command name and get with the command name. So we're getting it here with the interaction command name. So we'll check if there is actually a command. They could interact with the bot with other command than slash me. In that cases, we do not want to be interacting with it. So we will only gonna do if we have that command. So if we have that command, what we'll do is await command execute inter interaction. If you remember, execute is something we defined inside our command here, and it receives an interaction, right? So that's exactly what's happening here. We're calling that execute here and passing the interaction that happened. Now let's see if this works. Yep, it's working. Okay, now last step of uh, bot side is we have to actually send an image, right? So how can we do that? Let's head back to the meme here. Okay. Before anything else, let's discuss how we're actually going to get all these random images, right? So I got this API. It's called memeapi.com. Okay, and if you go to slash give me, it's going to uh, give us this JSON. And if you look at it, it has a URL here and a preview. Let's take the URL here. It's in PNG. If I open this, it will be a meme. So every time you hit this API, you're going to get a random API. Okay, sorry, random meme. So we have to call this inside our bot whenever they do slash meme. So to call the API, we're going to use something called Axios. Okay, we'll do npm I Axios. Axios is going to allow us to interact with this API. So in here, I'm going to call that API const res await Axios and steve is gimme. So in order for us to send media inside a message, we have to do something called an embed, right? We're going to embed that image in that message. How are we going to do that? Yeah, so we can create the embed like this. Embed new Discord embed builder. Okay, and we're going to do embed set title me embed dot set I think image. It's going to be res.data. So these things will be under res.data, and what we are really interested in is the URL inside the data, right? Res.data URL. We're going to reply it in here with embeds and this embed. So that's all we need to do. Let's see if this works. Unknown interaction. Interesting. Hmm. Interaction reply. Let's see if you have to put, maybe let's put await here. Let's also check if we're getting the response properly. Res.data. Response over here. Hmm. The embed builder, and we're setting the title, setting the image. Okay, let's just try it once more and see what we're getting. Response URL. URL is proper. Okay, let's Google this code. Let's find out what's the issue. Discord. Oh, okay. Like we have to reply in 3 seconds. So what we can do is thing called defer. Or we can do this. We will first reply it in here. Await interaction dot reply generating me for you. Generating me for you. And we'll call edit reply here. Let's try this out. Slash meme, generating a meme for you. And we got the meme. Awesome. What universe are we in? The one where the cats is the highest, grossest movie ever. Yes. Okay. Let's do one more. I don't think the image got downloaded. When you see someone name start with the vowel. Whatever. Okay, so that's about how you can build a bot. Um, okay, now let's see how we can deploy this, right? So before deploying, we have to follow certain uh, practices, if you will, for production environment. The first thing is that we want to um, isolate or basically take out the secrets we're using, right? Secrets such as our bot bot token. Where is it? Yeah, this one. Let's isolate this, right? We should not keep this in code because once we push it to Git and it's going to be public, people are going to have access to our GitHub bot token, which will allow them to send messages as our own, as their own, right? They can basically use it or misuse it. So I'll say bot token equals to this. We also need client ID. This is the client ID. Okay, and how can we access this? We can access it like this. Process.env.bot token. And here it's going to be client ID. We should also import .env here because this is a standalone script. Whereas we used a bot token somewhere else as well. I think it's in the index file. No, in the Discord client. Maybe. Yes, here. Okay, now it's all set. Uh, cool. So what, in order to deploy this, we're gonna have to put this on a repository on a GitHub. So this is how it's going to be, right? So we'll just add all the files. I generally don't recommend doing it on dot, but since I'm bit fully aware of what are the changes we have done and we have a proper git ignore setup, we can do git add dot. I'll do git commit m finish bot. We'll push this. Okay. Now it should be updated over here. You're planning to make a chat GPT Discord bot. Any tips on that? Well, sounds like a good idea, but it's up to you. I mean, it's publicly available to use. If you want to do some customization on top of that, that would be nice. But I'm not sure if ChatGPT's API are open to the world at the moment. Yeah, I've not had a look at it since a few weeks. So yeah, do check it out. So yeah, coming back to here, we wrote our client code, defined slash commands, deployed the slash commands. Only thing that's left is we have to deploy the client code. Because if I stop this server and try to ask a meme, it will not run. Yeah, see, it won't run because the server is not running. So we're gonna use render for this. So head over to render.com, and once you log in, you'll go to your dashboard.render.com. So click on new, click on web service, okay, web service, and here you have to select the GitHub repo. So it's going to be connect for me. sorry, memer bot. I'm gonna call this duo memer. Choose the, I guess nearest one would be Singapore. Branch main, root directory source, node, build command yarn. You have to change the start code to npm run start or npm start. These are the some things you have to do. And finally, you also have to set up your env variables. Okay. You can also directly select your .env, but I'm not sure if that's going to work out properly. So I'll just support bot token, bot token over here, and we also need client ID. Client ID goes over here. Okay, I think everything's set. Let's create the web service. So it's going to take like 3 to 5 minutes to deploy this. While I can take any questions if you guys have. Okay. Uh, so yeah, once it is deployed, it will be available over here. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna share the form link for the attendance. Hope you had good time learning about Discord bots and how to build it and the little stuff around it. Yeah, the attendance links there. Thank you, Arvind Rajesh. Thank you, Rishi. Please subscribe also if you like the session, if you haven't already. Let's see if they render. Oh, it failed. Oh, my bad. We have to also specify the version of Node. So by default, it's going to run some old version. So we have to specify Node version v16.10. I think that's what my Node version is. 10.0. Save changes and deploy latest commit. So I'll show you what happens once it's rendered, right? So I already deployed one instance like this. It's like mmb on render.com. So it basically works. I think it doesn't have an HTML file. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for subscribing. While it deploys, I'll just walk you guys over once more. So the first step is to create your Discord bot instance. So this is how you create it. You import Discord, you create a bot with new Discord client, you provide what are the things you want to listen to and what are the permissions or other things you need, and you create a commands collection. Collection is something like a hash that you can use, and you store it in commands. Okay, and you log in the bot, and then you build your command. Okay, you build your command like this. You use slash command builder, you set the name and description, you create a function that you want to execute when this thing is run, this slash command is run. you export both of them as data and execute method, and then in your client you add it to the collection, you add it to the bot itself. And then finally what you do is in your index.js, you listen for the interaction, listen for any interaction in the server, and then you check if it is a slash command. And if it is a chat input command slash command, you check if we have a command like that. Okay. But so what's going to happen here is when I do slash meme, this is going to be slash meme. And when I do dot get, I'm going to get this meme object here, right? And in that meme object, I'm going to call the execute function and I'll pass the interaction and this function will get called. This is just fetching a random meme and embedding it and sending it. That's all happening here. Okay, it's done. It's generating the contain image. So this may take a few minutes. So for people who are still here, um, if you have anything that you would want us to do a session about, let us know as well. Love to do it as well. Thanks for the words, Rahman. Uh, yeah, there was no quiz today because I knew it would take a bit more time if I had quizzes. But yeah, we will check the scores and finalize. I mean, send the who was in the top the kit. And put this link. I'll also share the final code. It will be later in the description as well. Hey Rishi, it's okay. I think if you are new, I'll JavaScript a little bit. Uh, you missed not much. You didn't miss much. Yeah, it's taking a long time. Has it failed? Hmm. Anyway, guys, I'm not sure why it failed, but should be like a cache thing, I hope, because earlier it did work. Yeah, just give it a try. It will work for you, I'm sure. Just make sure you set up the environment variables properly. And node version should be more than 16.10. And yeah, I hope you don't use my bot token. I'm gonna revoke it anyway. Cool. And yeah, you can see that it was quite easy to build, right? You can write your own logic here and build your own bot with anything, any idea you have. Like how someone mentioned, I think it was Rishi who was planning to do it with Chat GPT. Yeah, guys, go crazy with this. Okay. Um, all right, guys, I'll see you in the next workshop that we're gonna do. Yeah, thanks for joining in. See you guys. Bye.